Hi everybody and welcome to Valley Crafty Corner. Today I thought I'd show what I'm working on. Usually I do 12 by 12 layouts, and lately I've been focusing on my early years album. I don't have one. This is the start of my early years album, and I don't know, with everything that's been going on with me health-wise, I feel it's really important to kind of document my early years. I'm still scrapbooking. I'm still doing the 12 by 12. I'm doing that in kind of cohesion with this album. So I'll kind of get into it and I'll kind of explain to you what I'm doing. So this is kind of I don't know if you want to call it a hybrid, hybrid style of album. Like it's not digital or anything like that, but what I'm doing is basically mixing different types of page protectors, whether it's 12 by 12, 8.5 by 11, or something like this where it's an 8.5, or I think this is an 8 by 10, but different style of page protectors. Just to kind of just to get my pictures in the album. I feel right now it's really important to make sure that they don't get ruined. I found some pictures and they were not in the greatest of shape, and it kind of really broke my heart because I hate throwing out pictures. And I feel pictures tell a story, and it's really important. So anyway, getting away from that, I wanted to just make sure my pictures got in an album and they didn't get ruined. So I feel the only way to do that is to just do an early years album. So I went through all my photos, and I would love to show you I have a table outside in kind of the family room, and it is full. It is absolutely full of pictures, and I have them divided up by years as to the best that I could. And then I have some pictures that are early years, and I don't know what year they took place. I just know roughly about how old they are. So anyway, I've been dividing them up and trying to get them done. So I'll kind of show you what I mean. So this page is blank because this will be like an early years title page, I guess. I don't have any baby pictures of myself for right now. My mom is going to be looking for some. She thought I had my baby album, but I don't. And I'm kind of hoping it didn't get ruined because she was doing renovations in their basement, and their basement got flooded. So I'm really hoping my baby pictures didn't get ruined. But if they did, they did. But anyway, so I already did a scrapbook process video on this page, and this page is of my grandmother, and this is her school teaching photo, and I think this one's from a Christmas coronation or something like that, or a Christmas social. Anyway, so I did that one because I believe everybody's story begins with whether it's a grandparent, and great aunt, aunt and uncle, a family friend, adoptive grandparent, or something like that. I believe your story starts somewhere before you were born. So I feel my story starts with my grandparents. So I wrote this out of my grandmother, and this is of her wedding day. And so I'll do that. And I don't have any of my grandmother on my mom's side yet, but I found this. This is the only picture I have of my grandfather on my mom's side. And it's not a great picture, but I feel it needs to be scrapbooked, so it'll probably go on a layout on this side, and then I'll have a little write-up of him as well. And then I found my uncle actually had these pictures developed, and he gave each like a set of pictures to each of the grandkids. So anyway, this is a picture of my dad when he was really, really young. And these are all like him growing up, and his brothers and sisters. So I put those in just 8.5 by 11s, and I just backed it with some paper. Just because I felt like they needed to go in an 8.5 by 11. I didn't feel like they needed to go in a 12 by 12. So I put them in there. And I didn't know anything really about these pictures other than who was wrote on the pictures on the back side. So I just felt like I would just relay that information on these little tags on the bottom. So anyway, I did all that. And then this is kind of where my story begins. So these are some, some infera from growing up. Like this is a report card. This is some swim lesson stuff. This is my driver's test, which I think is pretty funny because I saved my daughters, so I think that's pretty awesome. And then there is this here, which this is a painting that my vice principal's wife painted, and it's all watercolors. And I actually have a print of this, so it's pretty cool to have, the story behind this photo, and I have it journaled here so that when the kids, they go to, like, I don't know, later on, if they ever decide to keep the photo, they understand the story behind the actual painting. And then this is left blank because I don't have anything to fill it up right now. So I'm not sure if I do have anything. I'm just kind of leaving it open for right now. But if I don't, then I'll just do a little story of, myself growing up and such. And then this is where I have like these are a couple of really old scrapbook pages, so they are not good quality, but they need to go in the album nonetheless because they are kind of the signification of how I've developed as a scrapbooker. So anyway, these are some kids that my mom babysat growing up, so in essence I grew up with them. And then this is a grade 9 trip, and then that's a picture I took of a nice little cougar at the Valley Zoo in Minnesota. So there's that. And then I have some more pages that are going to go in the middle here. These are like family pets that we had growing up, and I did this page quite a bit before, so this one will stay there as well. But it'll be nice to have the more pages like this to go in here. And this is what I mean by the hybrid style. So in getting away from the 12 by 12 layouts and the 8.5 by 11, I now carry this forward through with the project lifestyle of inserts. These are 4 by 6 inserts, but nevertheless they still work the same. So anyway, this is just a brief, I put in here our pets, a brief history, and it's just of each of the pets that I have pictures of. And I do have more, so they'll go in here. And then these are some pictures of around my home growing up. And so I have all those pictures in here. And then front yard adventures, and I just kind of wrote about what we would do in the front yard, like play in the pond, etc., etc. And then I have this little 6 by 12 insert here, and I found these pictures around the yard, and there was only 2 of them. So I have like the first snowfall and things that we would do in the winter time. And then this picture, I only had 1 of them, and it was of summertime, so I just journaled about some of the things that we would do in the summertime. And then I journaled about this particular photo. And then this is the continuation on of this front yard adventures, and this one's got backyard goodness because backyard was the garden and the raspberry bushes and the apple trees and stuff like that. So I wrote about that. And then these are some of pictures I have of school. So these are probably the earliest photos of myself that I have for right now. And they're of grade 10, I think, or grade 9, I'm not sure. So anyway, I just put, who was in the pictures. These ones I have a bunch of school photos, so I just used stickers 1 through 6, and then I just stamped 1 through 6 on here and just journaled on who was in here and what they meant to me as a friend. Some kids I used to babysit, some achievements growing up, and I have this medal achievement. They had these medals first, and then they went to these paper ones after. And then some more pictures of me growing up through the years. Some of, this is my sister and my brother-in-law, and some school friends. And then this is like, I only had these pictures of this particular event, and this was some family that came out from Alberta for a visit. And then these are some Halloween photos that I stuck in. And I'm not sure if these are of the particular same day or same Halloween, because I know these two obviously aren't, because these are my younger brother. So one time he would have been Dracula and the other time he would have been Karate. So, but I just wanted to stick them in there just so that, because it was Halloween, I felt it went anyway. And then this was Christmas time in Winnipeg, and I did actually look on the back side of these photos, and I did write in 80, I like hand wrote in 89 on the back of these pictures, so I know these are from 89. So I did that on those, so I knew. And then I just journaled about Christmas time, and I don't know, I must have known I was going to be a scrapbooker at some point, or a memory preserver, I'm not sure. But I took a picture of what Santa gave me that particular year, and I thought that was really interesting. So, and I remember that, so it's kind of cool. And just kind of what Christmas time meant to us. And then this was Boxing Day and of the same year. I didn't put 89 in here, but I think I should, just so I remember that it is the same year. And so then I just have a whole bunch of journaling on these and on these pictures, some from the same event. And then this is of my sister's 17th birthday, and it's only this particular page. And then this is from my graduation. This is my valedictorian certificate. However, I'm not there yet, but I just wanted to put them in because they were on the table that I was working on, and I didn't want to get them lost. So I just stuck them in here until such time as I get to my graduation. So again, I think I showed these before, but I'm going to show them again. I have my pictures in this little plastic case, and these are the ones I'm working on. And it's got the early years on here. And I do have a stack out that I'm working on as well. So that's what I've been doing. And again, what I'll do is if I have a photo that means a lot to me, that I feel I need to do a scrapbook page on, then I'll put it aside and I'll make sure I do a scrapbook layout for that particular photo. And then that's where my Studio Calico kit comes in, and I will try and do a layout on it. I've been kind of going back and forth between Vegas pictures and Christmas pictures, and then these older pictures, just to try and get you know, some of the pages done, because I am falling behind on that as well. But anyway, that is the early years album. That's kind of a glance at what it looks like for right now. I do have a lot of work left to do, but I feel it's pretty important to get it done. You know, I just don't really want my pictures to get ruined. I feel like that they go into an album, they stand a better chance at survival than if they're just laying on a table or in a box. So anyway, I'll probably need quite a few more albums than what I've got for right now, but it's a process. It's a start. So let me know what you think, and if you like the idea, or if you have any questions, give me a shout. Thanks, and have a great day. Bye.